So there are two political parties, regional parties, which are supporting the government, which are demanding a special category status. First one is the Telugu Desam Party. Second one is Janata Dal United, that accrue to the states when they get a special category status. What is it? First and foremost, in the gross budgetary expenditure of the central government, 30% of the expenditure should be spent only on special category status states.
Hello aspirants, welcome to our special discussion series with esteemed faculty members of Vision IS. In today's video, we are going to talk about special category status and its various implications. Joining us today is Pawan sir, Faculty of Polity and Governance at Vision IS. Welcome to the discussion, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, special category status is back in news. Could you tell us, our viewers, what exactly has happened that it is back in news?
After 10 years, the country has witnessed again a coalition government. So there are two political parties, regional parties, which are supporting the government, which are demanding a special category status. First one is the Telugu Desam Party. Second one is Janata Dal United. Telugu Desam Party is demanding a special category status for Andhra Pradesh. Janata Dal United is demanding a special category status for Bihar. That is the reason why suddenly we can see that almost every news channel, everyone is talking about special category status.
Sir, what is the basic idea behind special category status?
If we look at our constitution, what we have is asymmetrical federalism. What does it mean? It means that not all the federal units are equal in terms of their population, in terms of their growth, in terms of their prosperity. So that is the reason why way back in 1969, the then 5th Finance Commission has said that we must reward those states which are backward in terms of various parameters. That is how the concept of a special category status has come into existence.
Sir, you have talked about the special category status. Could you mention some of the criteria on the basis of which special category status is awarded?
As I mentioned, Finance Commission is the authority that decides the devolution of tax revenues and other revenues between the union and states. That is what we call vertical devolution of tax revenues. And it also decides the horizontal devolution of tax revenues between the states. The 5th Finance Commission felt that there are some states in India, this tax devolution is not sufficient. They said that these states need to be given special assistance. Then they have decided that the criteria can be determined by the Planning Commission. In those days, we had a Planning Commission. Planning Commission was asked to define the criteria. Planning Commission has said that this special category status can be given to certain states. What are they? Those states which are sharing border with our neighboring countries. Those states which have a huge amount of hilly and difficult terrain. Those states wherein a tribal population is very high. Those states which have a low density of a population. And those states which are economically backward. What does it mean? In terms of infrastructure and industrialization. And those states whose finances are in an extremely precarious condition, which have higher fiscal deficits and revenue deficits. This was the criteria that was decided by the Planning Commission.
Sir, you've talked about the criteria. Sir, could you also talk about the historical background of special category status in terms of which states were initially awarded this category?
So, Planning Commission was given the responsibility of identifying the criteria. And then Planning Commission, on the basis of this criteria, was also asked to identify those special category states. And since Planning Commission was a body consisting of mostly appointed officials, it was felt that we needed another mechanism as part of our federalism to identify those special category status states. That was when National Development Council, NDC, was given the ultimate power to identify the special category status states on the basis of criteria determined by the Planning Commission. Initially, 4 states, northeastern states were given. Later, the entire northeastern states, 7 states, along with Sikkim, 8 states were given special category status. And later, it was extended to 3 more states, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and after division of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand was also given special category status states. At present, we have 11 states that have SCS, status at this point of time.
Right, sir. So it is not a constitutional mechanism, it is just by design of Planning Commission and Finance Commission.
Yes, it was only an administrative mechanism to help those states which are historically poor or which are facing extremely difficult situations.
So, sir, has there been a tangible benefits in terms of developmental outcomes when states were awarded this special category status?
Yes, there are significant benefits that accrue to the states when they get a special category status. What is it? First and foremost, in the gross budgetary expenditure of the central government, 30% of the expenditure should be spent only on the special category status states. Second, when it comes to devolution of revenues to the states as part of centrally sponsored schemes, for normal states, it varies between 60 to 80%. That means 60% is given by the central government, remaining 40% has to be raised by the state governments. Whereas in case of special category status states, it is only 90-10. That means they have to raise only 10% of the revenues. To give you an example here, Andhra Pradesh is demanding special category status now. Right now it is a normal state. So they are getting around 3,500 crores. If they get the special category status, they will be getting 5,800 crores. This is where the states are demanding SCS. This is only one of the benefits. What are the other benefits? As I mentioned, most of the states lack in terms of industrialization and infrastructure development. To encourage industrialization and infrastructure development, as part of SCS, those who are investing in these states, they are given all kinds of tax benefits in income tax, corporation tax, custom duties, excise duties. They are also given other benefits in terms of concessions, in terms of electricity and everything else. And so that these states can attract special category status. Not only this, these special category status states are also given loans at subsidized rates of interest compared to normal states. Apart from this, special category status states are also given much longer duration to repay the loans, again compared to normal states. And that is the reason why all these states are demanding SCS.
Sir, what are some of the general reasons why some of the states are demanding special category status, especially states like Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, and also states like Odisha?
At present, if we look at it, good number of states in India are demanding special category status on the basis of the criteria defined by the Planning Commission. For example, Bengal is demanding special category status because it is a border state. Odisha demanding special category status state. It is very poor and also it has a good amount of a tribal population. Chhattisgarh is demanding special category status, again because of tribal population and also Naxal problem. Madhya Pradesh is also demanding special category status, again because of a huge amount of forest area. Bihar has been demanding special category status for a long period of time because of economic backwardness. And when it comes to Andhra Pradesh, it is a very specific case. Division of Andhra Pradesh was done in 2014. Andhra Pradesh was divided into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. At that point of time, according to Andhra Pradesh, the division was not scientific because 70% of total revenues of United Andhra Pradesh had come only from Hyderabad, the capital city. And after division, Hyderabad would go to only Telangana. Andhra Pradesh was starting with a huge amount of unsustainable fiscal deficits. That was the reason why Andhra Pradesh was demanding a special category status. When the bill was passed in Rajya Sabha, at that point of time, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh promised on the floor of the House that Andhra Pradesh would be given special category status for a period of 5 years as an exception because of economic difficulties. Immediately this was approved by the opposition party BJP also. Venkaiah Naidu, who was the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha at that point of time, has said that his party also would support it. Elections were held in 2014 and BJP came to power and BJP got absolute majority in Lok Sabha. That was when the situation had changed. 14th Finance Commission that was appointed by the government had recommended that the revenues to be given to the states should be increased from 32% to 42%. So at that point of time, it was felt that since the state revenues are going up by 10%, there is no need for any special category status. The central government has argued that since the revenues of Andhra Pradesh are also going by 10%, there is no need for any special category status. Here we must remember one thing. Central government has argued on the floor of the House that Finance Commission has rejected the demand for special category status. But the chairman of Finance Commission at that point of time, N.K. Singh, has said that they never openly rejected a special category status for any other state. At the end of the day, the decision has to be taken by the central government. And later what happened? Opposition parties had come together. They introduced a private member bill in Rajya Sabha demanding special category status for Andhra Pradesh, a promise that was made by the Prime Minister in 2014. But the Rajya Sabha chairman did not allow any discussion or voting because the then Finance Minister Arun Jaitley argued that this special category status bill is a money bill because money will be transferred from Consolidated Fund of India to the state of Andhra Pradesh. So finally, the discussion or the voting could not take place.
That a money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha and not in the Rajya Sabha. It's clearly stated in so many words in the Constitution. The second, a money bill can only be voted in the Lok Sabha.
And now we have a coalition government wherein TDP is a major partner, second largest partner, and they are demanding special category status.
So how do you see this outcome unfolding?
At this point of time, compulsions of coalition governments might force the union government to take a decision on special category status. But the challenge for a union government here is that if they give special category status to one particular state, it might open Pandora's box. Almost every other state might demand special category status. That is the reason why union government is also fearful.
Sir, what other financial and administrative challenges could arise when special category status is awarded to other states?
First and foremost, it increases huge amount of financial burden on the part of the union government because 90% of the funds has to come from the union government. It increases the fiscal deficits of the central government, first and foremost. Administratively, again problematic because when so much of tax concessions are given, income tax, corporation tax, customs duties, excise duties, it drastically reduces the tax revenues of both the central and state governments. If on the one hand expenditure is going up, on the other hand revenues are coming down. So automatically it increases the fiscal deficits of both the central and state governments, and it would become almost impossible for both the central and state governments to implement FRBM legislation. This is a major problem. Next problem is competitive federalism. In the age of globalization and liberalization, states have realized that private sector investment is the most important factor that can improve their infrastructure and industrialization. Through special category status, those states which have this SES can attract more investment. For example, when Andhra Pradesh is demanding special category status, it is strongly opposed by Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Why? Because maximum number of industries from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka might move to Andhra Pradesh. And this is where they are strongly opposing SES. Another problem is with special category status. If more number of states are given special category status, SES would become normal and normal would become SES.
Sir, you have mentioned all these challenges very well. So how to overcome these challenges, sir?
First and foremost, it must be realized that special category status cannot be a panacea for all the problems, because this special category status can at best only a temporary provision. For example, in 2017, the union government has extended special category status to the existing 11 states for a period of 10 years. At that point of time itself, union government has mentioned that they don't have any kind of idea or any kind of opinion to extend this special category status to any other state. Now, what will happen to states like Andhra Pradesh and Bihar if they don't get special category status? What is the scenario? What all these states must realize is that they must become financially independent rather than depending on SCS. At the end of the day, when SCS is given, who will be the ultimate losers? People. Why? Because people will have to pay more taxes. Because when the government is cutting down taxes on one thing, they will increase the GST. It is a two-person zero-sum game. So what is the solution to this? It should be made mandatory for both the central and state governments to spend at least 40% of their total expenditure only on capital expenditure. The only way a country can grow is through investment. As we study, whatever may be the ism, capitalism or socialism, the only way a country can grow is through investment. This investment has to come either from the government or from the private sector. And private sector investment is what is called derived, not direct. Private sector will invest only when there is government investment. So let it be made mandatory that all these states will reduce their populistic subsidies. Right now what we are witnessing is competitive populism, wherein every political party is promising more freebies. Let there be a clear-cut opinion among all the political parties that they cannot give subsidies beyond a certain point. And the money should be used to invest in infrastructure, both the physical and social infrastructure. And they can attract investment, private investment, not through SCS, but through infrastructure. So that in the long term, this special category status would become irrelevant.
Right, sir. Sir, what about those states who already have this status? What's advice you have for them?
At present, they have this special category status. There are certain states, for example, take northeastern states. They needed special category status. For example, take a state like Manipur or Meghalaya or Mizoram. There you cannot have super specialty hospitals, infrastructural problems. There you cannot have big industries. They definitely need special category status. But rest of the states, they must become financially independent. For example, Uttarakhand, it has special category status and it has a tourism sector. So it can be removed after some point of time. Jammu and Kashmir, once it becomes a full-fledged state, let the government focus more on investment there so that it can be removed. Himachal Pradesh, let the state government focus more on what you call sustainable development. Because these are the states that can become self-sustaining over a long period of time, over a period of time. So instead of asking for special category status, the state should focus more on their own internal finances and how they are spending their monies.
So many states like Bihar, where multidimensional poverty is more than 50%, sir, and they have been demanding special category status for a very long time, as you have mentioned earlier. So what is the panacea for them? What should they be doing?
See, in states like Bihar, they can be given special category status for some period of time, but after that, what next? They can get to special category status for 10 years. Already, we are talking about north-south divide in terms of tax devolution. It is said that when Bihar is contributing 100 rupees to central exchequer in terms of taxes, they are getting in return 720 rupees. And on the other hand, Tamil Nadu is saying that when they are giving 100 rupees to the central government, they are getting in return only 28 rupees. If the states are given more special category status, it can result in more conflicts. So what the states like Bihar can do or must do is focus on infrastructure. They must focus on infrastructure. For example, they must focus on providing free education and health, at least up to graduation, with focus on skill-based training, so that poverty can be removed not through subsidies. Poverty can be removed only through skill, education and employment. That is what the politicians have to realize. Otherwise, special category status or reservations or anything else cannot solve the problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, sir.
Thank you.
Dear students, we hope that this discussion series was useful to you. On that note, we wish you all the best.